always rock and roll. Scintillating, super, Scotty Nicholls. What a sight he is. Chris Harris has played a true captain's role. Sensational. This is a World Cup to remember.
The Woffinden's out in front, riding a stormer.
Whoopee, whoopee, whoopee!
We may be in the heart of a Swedish forest, but we're at the centre of the Speedway World Cup. No trouble with the neighbours here, so fans can make as much noise as they like. Who will you cheer for tonight? It's the penultimate clash of the Speedway World's top teams. We're live from Manila in Sweden for the Speedway World Cup race-off. The winning nation tonight will join Event 1 winners Russia, Event 2 winners Australia and seeded host Sweden in the Cup final. It's crunch time for the Czech Republic, Poland, Denmark and Great Britain. These were the scenes earlier today. Plenty of fanfare and plenty of fun for some of the riders arriving earlier on. Tai Woffinden, Chris Harris and fans, along with Neil Middleditch, perhaps a little apprehensive. Big crowd here tonight though for a race-off. 4 nations, it's the last chance saloon. You join us trackside then, we're high above turn 4 here at Manila, the GMB Arena, and with me, Sam Malenko, Kelvin Tatum. Sam, big crowd for a race-off. This obviously means a lot to a lot of people.
It sure does. I mean, the competition's been so competitive all the way through, and to get to the race-off, and everybody knows there's only one team that goes through, so there's going to be some quite big action going on in this arena.
Perhaps we should just go there for a moment, Kelvin. Complete change of rules this year. 4-man teams. For those of you that haven't joined us previously for Event 1 and Event 2, you've missed great events, by the way.
Yep.
Just 4 men per team, and only 1 going through from tonight.
Exactly. It was a meeting that in previous seasons that you've got to say teams could quite like to be part of, track time, but now they want to avoid it, and there's no question that the new format has really ramped it up. It's much more intense this season.
Well, as I alluded to a little earlier on, it's been a great week so far. So the World Cup week started in Bydgoszcz. Russia forced their way direct to the Cup final. Poland and Denmark race again tonight. Event 2 saw Australia and Team Great Britain favourites for the direct route. Australia came out on top. Team GB and the Czech Republic join us tonight in the last chance saloon. So tonight the race-off is Poland and Denmark, Team Great Britain and the Czech Republic. Only one nation can prevail. Who will be the last big nation to join Sweden, Russia and Australia? Who will be the 2012 World Cup champions? But as far as UK fans were concerned, it was Event 2 at King's Lynn that was the main event so far.
It's packed to the rafters here in Norfolk tonight. Flags flying high for the Great Britain side. Here we go, first one of the night. Whoopee, whoopee, whoopee! Chris Harris now, he's going to take the checkered flag. What a ride! Whoa, what a race this is! Down to the line! Oh, my goodness me! This is a sensational display of speedway by Team Great Britain. Jason Crump going for double points under the Joker rule. Here comes Crump on the inside. Well, this will bring Australia back to within a point of Team Great Britain. Jason Crump, 6 points, double score.
Harris goes down. Going to be a big decision for the referee now.
He's not put the red lights on. But now the referee has disqualified Chris Holder. Bit of back row, bit of drama. Chris Holder is showboating in celebration with the win. Australia have a 4-point lead. This is an absolutely vital race. Here comes Chris Harris at the inside, and the Norfolk Arena crowd are going wild here. The Joker works. Woffinden! Whoa, what a move from Tai Woffinden. Here comes again. Now Woffinden tries the inside. What goes wide? Woffinden takes him out. Down to the line. Oh! 2 points the gap. 2 heats to go.
Who can hold their nerve?
Bomber's made a good start off the outside. Oh, and then now comes Chris Holder, who's in third place, would you believe it? And now he's coming through, Chris Holder, and Harris is coming through from last to first. Oh my goodness, this is extraordinary. Smolinski comes back for more, and now Holder on the inside. We're going into the second lap, and Chris Harris has to hold the lead here. Harris has it, Holder's quick. Holder looks a little bit quicker than Harris.
Here comes Holder, seems up the inside. Harris now jumps back to the inside, replays the compliment brilliantly. Holder around the outside into turn one for the second time of asking. Harris is out in front. Holder looking for a way through this time around the outside.
Chris Harris has the lead, and Chris Holder is all over him. Harris has got to have eyes in the back of his head. Holder tries the inside line. Holder's going to take it. Now Harris has to switch back up the inside. Here he comes. Oh, it's a turns 3 and 4. Oh, and it's getting very, very tight. Holder is going to win it.
Oh, what a Speedway race that was.
It's Australia who joined Russia and Sweden in the World Cup final.
Well, Australia brought out the big guns when it came to support, and you nearly blew your larynx out by the sound of that.
It was exciting stuff, wasn't it? It was a terrific display from GB team there on Monday. Just ran out of steam at the end, but you can't fault the effort, and Heat 19 will live long in the memory for sure.
And we've got more of that to come tonight. Track looks well prepped. They've been working on it. Worried about the weather, but now it's come over really well. So tonight, more of the same?
Well, let's hope so. I tell you what, all the ingredients were there at Kings Lynn, and they sure put on a good show for us. And tonight, I can't see any reason why this isn't going to repeat the same thing. And there's a heck of a lot on the line, so they'll be just bringing their game up that little bit more.
Team Great Britain being presented to the fans here then. A lot of Union Jacks around the arena. I've got to say that's quite good from our point of view.
Plenty of people have travelled out. No changes
So that's
to the
how it
team.
looks at the moment. Let's take a look at the teams tonight. Milan Spinker is the Czech Republic team manager. Alongside him tonight, Matej Kus, Josef Franc, Lukas Dryml and their team captain, Alex Dryml, who was delighted they made the race off.
Yeah, it was a very good performance. I think, you know, even the rest of the team, our Czech team, done well, and we qualified for race-off. You know, the last time I think was like 2005 or so. So we are very happy to be here, and then just try to score some points again and just be there.
Anders Sescher is the Danish team manager. Nicki Pedersen is in, replacing Mikkel B. Jensen. Michael Jepsen Jensen, Leon Madsen, with Niels-Kristian Iversen, who is the team captain, and he weighs up the opposition.
I think we have a fairly strong team, but again, you know, there's Poland is strong, England is strong as well. You know, Czech Republic have some riders who can win races, and you know, it looks pretty open, I think.
Great Britain team manager Neil Middleditch has kept the same lineup. Scott Nicholls, Tai Woffinden, Daniel King and captain Chris Harris, who was philosophical about event 2.
Monday was a fantastic team effort. It's just towards the end we just fell a bit short, but you know, the Aussies are a strong team, and to say tonight the track's it's a racers track here, and we've got 4 races in our team, so game on.
Marek Cieslak is the Poland team manager. In the team this week, Krzysztof Buczkowski replaces Gregor Walasek, Maciej Janowski and Tomasz Gollob remain in the team. And Piotr Protasiewicz has a few comments for us.
4 very good teams, only 1 place, qualified the final. Only 4 riders in the team is not so good for us, but we try the best. It's very important for us, but this is sports, I think. If we lose only 1 point in the semi-final in Bydgoszcz, but we try the best, make the best is good for us.
Thanks, Piotr. Good luck.
Thank you, man.
Got to say, you can feel the tension here, can't you, at the moment? 4 nations, they can all go through it. So this could be a final almost.
Yeah, very competitive, wide open. Poles aren't as strong as they have been. They're the champions and they're under pressure. But, you know, you talk about Great Britain, if they can get off to a flying start, then who knows? You know, it really is a tight affair.
I avoided asking you about Team
Sorry.
Great Britain. I'm going to ask Sam about Team Great Britain because he's slightly neutral. Can we do it tonight? They certainly seem up for it, the boys.
Well, I mean, the attitude's definitely focused on doing a good job. I mean, coming off of Kings Lynn, they feel really pumped about what they're doing. And at the end of the day, you know, they know it's really tough and it's competitive out there. The track is much, much different than Kings Lynn, so they got a lot of work to do. But, heck, if their spirit brings them here from Kings Lynn, they're going to do a good job.
Will the Bulldog spirit prevail here in Melilla? We're going to find out pretty soon. We'll take a short break.
Get out of the way, I'm coming through! Guts, courage, grit and determination! Sensational speedway here! That was simply superb! Brilliant stuff from Scott Nicholls! It's fast, it's furious, it's wheel-to-wheel action!
This is the 2012 Speedway World Cup race-off, and this is Tai Woffinden in yellow, preparing for what he's got to do. He's out in heat number 1. And these are the teams, the Czech Republic, Poland, Denmark and Great Britain. Only one team can go through to Saturday's World Cup final. It's going to be a very special night. Can Team Great Britain do it? Chris Lewis with team manager Neil Middleditch.
Thanks, Keith. Yeah, Neil, it's going to be a tough night. One team going through from the race-off this year has brought a whole new complexion to this meeting, hasn't it?
Yes, it's a must-win, isn't it? I mean, I think, you know, the practice went well for the boys today, and yeah, they're all pretty upbeat, I mean, after their performance on Monday, and so hopefully we can go through.
Track conditions look good. We've got an outside gate in the first block. Is that going to suit us, do you think?
Looking at gate 4, I mean, it looks pretty good. I mean, obviously it's a long way to the first corner, and you've got 3 very good riders inside of you, but, you know, so the boys are pretty confident.
Good luck tonight. Thanks, Neil.
Cheers, Chris. Thanks, mate.
The Czech Republic ride in red, Poland in blue, Denmark in white, and Team Great Britain are in yellow. Time now then to join our commentators high above the start line, Kelvin Tatum and Nigel Pearson. Good evening, gentlemen.
Keith, good evening to you. Yes, welcome along, and quite a few Great Britain fans here in this G&B arena here in Melilla tonight, ready for the race-off, the first race-off ever in World Cup history where only the winners go through. The stakes are high. Race 1, Niels-Kristian Iversen for Denmark, Tomasz Gollob for Poland off 2, Matej Kus for the Czech Republic off 3, and Tai Woffinden has got the task of going from gate 4, and it's a long way to that first turn, Kelvin.
It is a long way. There's plenty of grip on the track. They prepared the surface beautifully earlier today, I have to say, and it's really almost like plasticine down there on the start line. If we can get off to a sharp start like we did on Monday, I tell you what, we could be very, very much involved in this event. But it's a tall order. It's going to be tough because you've got Iversen on gate 1 with Gollob right alongside him in gate 2. And you've got to say Woffinden's going to have to make a jet-propelled start to hit the front here.
Yeah, it's a tough ask, this race off tonight. It's winner takes all. Heat number 1. Craig Ackroyd is our referee. Craig from Lancashire. And the first race about to get underway then here in Melilla tonight. A lovely, warm, sunny evening, and the tapes rise, and Tomasz Gollob has made a good start from gate number 2. Iversen is clamped down. Here comes Woffinden, charging hard around into 3rd place, and Iversen is challenging Gollob here, and it's a fast, lively start. Gollob's down. Drama here in the first race, and Gollob has rolled over. The red lights have now come on.
Yeah, I suspect that Craig Ackroyd took a while to put the red lights on there. He wasn't totally convinced, I suggest, that Gollob went down under the influence of Iversen. It was neck and neck down the back straight. Iversen got a better run out of the second corner on the opening lap. And there was contact as they went into turn 3. We're seeing it again now. Iversen there. Gollob made an excellent start initially. Iversen made his bike work that little bit better. He's just got his nose in front. Gollob's trying to lean on him. Gets a little bit out of shape. I think Gollob's gone down easy there.
Yeah, Craig Ackroyd will be watching these pictures. Has this decision to make now. Has Gollob's left leg been taken?
Well, it was contact there, but you just suggest he didn't go down initially. He actually just takes it takes a few seconds after there's that slight
Gollob
bit of
has gone. Gollob has been disqualified.
No
the blue light is on.
No surprise to me. I suggest he just didn't. The contact was slight, and then he sort of thought about it and then put the bike down. After making such a good start, that's a big disappointment for the Poles.
I think it was the correct decision from Craig Ackroyd there, as Iversen had a lot of speed down that back straight.
Yeah, he's shown plenty of speed all season long, if the truth be known, but you've got to say that it's a disappointing start for the Polish team.
Well, let's get some reaction down in the pits from Great Britain's Scott Nicholls with our man Chris.
Thanks, Nigel. Yeah, Scott, heat 1, lap 1, and already these guys showing their intentions.
Action started already, innit? So, yeah, I mean, it's tough. We knew it was going to be, and Yeah, Niels ran Tomasz hard there, and Tom's been excluded, which I haven't seen the replay, but from where I was, it possibly looked like that was the right decision.
We're used to seeing tough racing in the World Cup, though, and this track is going to offer plenty of that, isn't it?
It is, you know, it's a fast track, but it's a race track as well, and looks like it's prepared well, and yeah, like you say, you know, it's only the top team from tonight goes through, so it's, you know, it's going to be a tough one for sure.
It's a long way from gate 4. We've got the outside gates in the first block. Is that going to be a problem for us or not?
I hope not. Gate 4 didn't look so good before the meeting. They did a bit of work on it, but you know, maybe not. But they're the gates we got, so we just have to make the best of it. And you know, maybe the inside gates might work in our favour later on. Who knows? We'll see.
Thanks, Scott. Good luck.
Okay, thank you. Cheers.
Yeah, and the decision there to disqualify Tomasz Gollob opens the door for the restart for Tai Woffinden, because Woffy found it tough off gate 4 there, for sure, Kelvin.
He did. Gollob and Iversen made 2 good starts on the inside, and although he got the better of Matej Kus, Woffinden, he couldn't get across. Now, all of a sudden, one of the main contenders in the race is out. Gollob there, we're seeing him just disconsolately walking back to his pit bay, but for now, for GB team, this is an opportunity to get at least 2 points out of the opening race from a difficult start position. That's a bonus.
Well, considering there's no Swedish side here tonight, the crowd is good. It doesn't look that big on the first and second turn, but on the banking on that third and fourth turn there's a decent crowd, and plenty of British fans here as well. But you won't be able to get a ticket on Saturday when Sweden are here.
No, and you know, they're very patriotic, the fans here, but yeah, there's a decent turnout, and this is they're going to witness a special night of Speedway. You know, the lineup and the fact that there's only one qualifier tonight for the final. You can ill afford mistakes like we've just seen with Gollob there. He just felt that he could have hung on there, and 2 points would have been better than none.
Gollob's body language, Kelvin, we saw him looking at the track a little bit earlier around the starting area, and his body language suggested that he wasn't happy with the way the track was being prepared.
No, and the track was very different from practice. Earlier on today it was a little bit dusty, and got to say that they have dug it up, so he was concerned.
Well, Tai Woffinden has the task of going off that gate number 4. It's a long way to the first turn here in Melilla. We recall the Grand Prix that they had here last year, which was a little bit tricky early on, but then it developed into one of the most spectacular GPs of the 2011 series, because this track is a natural bowl, and it gives us some great action, Kelvin.
It's a power track. You need plenty of horsepower here, and it's a terrific circuit, like you just say, Nigel. And you've got to say that you know, Tai Woffinden has actually just signed for the club here, so he'll want to put on a big performance to keep his job, not just get through to the World Cup final. But rides GMs here in Sweden, Jawa's in the UK, but he's very happy with the way they're running. Peter Johns, the tuner, does some great work, does Chris Holder and Darcy Ward's engine, so they're not lacking in speed, but an opportunity with just 3 runners now.
And for Great Britain as well, it's a relevant point that Daniel King actually rode here. This was his Swedish track last year. He rode for the Dakar Club here at Melilla last year, Danny King, so no fears for him coming here tonight.
No, and Chris Harris has a good record here as well in the league, so you have to say that none of the teams should be, you know, intimidated by this track. I'm sure they'll be really fired up.
Iversen off the inside for the Danes in the white helmet colour then. No Tomasz Gollob off 2. Disqualified. Matej Kus goes off gate number 3 for the Czech Republic. And Tai Woffinden going off the outside in yellow. It was a tough ask in that first race and had to battle hard around Matej Kus. Team Great Britain watching on with Neil Middleditch and the assistant Phil Morris, who helps with the youth setup at British Speedway, but also assisting Neil Middleditch with the senior setup of the Great Britain side. It's a belated starter here then, if you've just joined us, just got in from work or whatever, that you've just joined us here in Melilla for the race-off. Tomasz Gollob excluded from heat number 1. This is the restart. Niels-Kristian Iversen in the white helmet colour for Denmark. We await the green light and the tape tries, and Craig Ackroyd kept the tapes down for a while there, and Woffinden has made a much better start. Can he come around the outside of Iversen, who's got lots of speed? We saw that in the original staging of the race. Niels-Kristian Iversen for Denmark has the lead. Second place, Tai Woffinden for Great Britain. Matej Kus in red is third right now, but Niels-Kristian Iversen is enjoying one of the best seasons of his career so far.
Yeah, it's in the form of his life. He made a good start once again from the inside, and is charging hard out front. Woffinden made a better getaway this time, but just couldn't quite get that swoop around the outside. It's early doors, track conditions look pretty good, a little bit dusty on the inside, but got to say, this 2 points here is a nice little bonus here, because without Gollob, we're off to a solid start, but Iversen, the Danish team, captains the Danish team, looking really good in front.
Danes bolstered by the arrival of Nicki Pedersen, the 3-times world champion. Nicholls Jensen took the decision well. He knew it was coming. Nicholls Jensen, his time will come as a youngster. And here's Iversen taking the checkered flag. It's a fine ride from Niels-Kristian Iversen in the first race of the night. Tai Woffinden second, Matej Kus was third. We know Gollob missed out because of that exclusion. So a couple of points for Great Britain to get the evening underway, but it's Denmark who get off to a winning start with Iversen.
Yeah, he was composed, he made that inside gate work for him. I suggest that that will be an advantage early on, and he didn't disappoint for his team. 3 points in the bag.
Iversen the winner with Tai Woffinden second for Great Britain in yellow. Matej Kus was third. No points for Poland with Gollob's exclusion. So as it stands then, the Danes start in style with 3 points. 2 for Team Great Britain and just the 1 for the Czech Republic. Iversen delighted with the victory.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me to see him back in the Grand Prix next season. He won the last round of the qualifying for that, but here on the inside he's really sharp away. You look at the white helmet colour. Woffinden's there. He puts pressure on in the first corner, but he just can't get round the outside at this early stage of the meeting. But hey, you know, no mechanical failures, 2 points in the bag. That's an ideal start. But Iversen, I'm sure, will be delighted, and that'll settle his team, because everybody's under pressure here this evening.
Well, they know the stakes are high. Only the winners of this meeting go through to the World Cup final. In all previous World Cups, going back to the revamp of the tournament in 2001, it's always been 2 teams for the race-off that have gone through. Let's get some reaction down in the pits with our reporter, Chris Louis.
Thanks, Nigel. Yeah, just waiting for Tai Woffinden to come along, but he's just gone straight past me. The lads, he's made a great start from gate 4. Better second time round, Tai, from gate 4, but it's tough from the outside in the early heats, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about another 5 metres longer than anyone else is going to go, but felt like I made a good one, just couldn't quite get across him. Feel all right, I'm just bogging a little bit coming off the corners, but I think it's just the way I'm riding, so I'll try to sort it out for the next one, and the boys are up for it, we want to win.
Yeah, it's great to see such a positive attitude from the team. Everybody's got a great belief that you guys can do this.
Yeah, man, the fans have been amazing, you know. We didn't make it on Monday, but you know, the fans are behind us all the way, and it's awesome, and yeah, you know, we're looking forward to today. Everyone's got a good chance, so let's do it.
Good luck, thanks, Tai.
Thanks.
Delighted to see sunshine out tonight. There's been all sorts of reports about the weather, roads being flooded on the way through to Manila, but it's a warm, sunny evening here on this Thursday night here in Sweden, which is great for the World Cup race-off. Let's take a look at the lineup for heat number 2 now. And going off the inside, it's Piotr Protasiewicz for Poland. They have to score here. Josef Franc off gate number 2 for the Czech Republic side in red. Gate 3 in yellow is Scott Nicholls of Great Britain. Leon Madsen, who had a good night in the opening round for Denmark, he goes off the outside in white.
Yes, he had a couple of really good rides in Bydgoszcz last Saturday. You've got to say that he's a rider on the up. But he's going to have to do something special here. We saw how hard it is to make the start from gate 4. Nicholls in gate 3, keep an eye out for him.
Heat number 2 it is. What can Nicholls do off gate number 3 in yellow? Hasn't made the best of starts. It's a superstar from Protasiewicz. Up the inside goes Nicholls. Oh, the man in white, Leon Madsen, has moved and has gone down, and he's staying down as well. We're going to have a restart here once again. The red lights are on, and the second race of the night is stopped just like the first. And we're going to have to do it all again.
I wonder how much sympathy he's going to get from the referee here, because I suggest he could have got up there and got the bike off. But the red lights there was a delay while the referee waited to see if he was going to get up. Tapes are up, they roar in the first corner. Keep an eye out for the man out the back. He just falls off all on his own. He's going to go. Disappointment for Leon Madsen after such a terrific event 1 for him. But a poor start here this evening. It was a great start from Josef Franc, who had that excellent outing in the Prague Grand Prix just a couple of months back. Protasiewicz there running wide, and it was a great turn back from Nicholls, but he'll have to do that again. But Leon Madsen, he's out.
So the opening 2 heats, Poland have had a disqualification. Confirmation that Leon Madsen is now disqualified.
Yeah.
So Denmark have had a disqualification. Bonus points for Team Great Britain, I would suggest.
Absolutely. This is only going our way, you know, at this early stage. You can ill afford in this shortened format to give points away. Poland did it with Gollob in the initial one. Madsen there just tucking back to the inside and getting caught out by the fact it's a bit slick down on the inside, and he spun round, and they may rue them. We saw how those 2 engine failures for us on Monday night, how that cost us the possibility of getting through.
Well, Niels-Kristian Iversen is with Chris Louis.
Thanks, Nigel. He is. Niels, very important now, seeing that one with Leon being excluded, that you won the first race.
Yeah, it was a good one for me. unfortunate Leon didn't have such a good one, but you know, we have to keep fighting, and you know, there's many races left.
How did you see the Leon crash? Because it could have been all 4 back, but obviously not the way the referee saw it.
No, he falls on his own, and then it's no all 4 back, so it was his own fault.
And you rode in hard on Tomasz Gollob. Tomasz went down. I mean, was there much contact there?
I could feel I bumped into him a little bit, but again, you know, I was leading a little bit into the corner, and I kept my line, so yeah, I don't think I should have been out. Just one team qualifying tonight. That brings a new complexion to this meeting, and you've got to win it. Yeah, we got to win it. You know, we have to make points everybody, and you know, avoid these mistakes like Leon did here. You know, make sure we don't bring any zeros in, and keep making points. Thanks, Niels. Cheers.
Well, a lovely sunny evening here in Malilla in Sweden, and drama already. Just the 1 race completed so far, and now heat number 2 with a delay once again as Leon Madsen went down, so an exclusion for Denmark. And can Scott Nicholls make the start off gate number 3 here? Josef Franc looked good in the first staging of that race, and we know what he can do. Didn't have the best of nights at Kings Lynn, but Franc had a great Grand Prix in Prague in May, of course.
Yeah, he did, and he won races there, and he got 9 points, I believe, from memory, and he did himself proud that night. Made a sharp start out of gate 2 in the original stage. Stop start tonight. Stop start tonight. I'll get it out eventually. Yeah, this is only good news. You know, Nicholls had made a good first corner, cut back to the inside. Looked like he was possibly going to move straight into second place, if not the lead. So he'll be aware of that. You know, he's been around. He's an experienced campaigner now. So an opportunity again to get amongst the points.
Just round about 6:30 in the UK. If you are just joining us after a day at work, you haven't missed a lot, which is good news for you. 1 race completed so far here in Malilla because of a couple of disqualifications. Crowd enjoying it. Plenty of Brits here at the G&B Arena here in Malilla tonight. We've seen Tomasz Gollob disqualified from heat 1, and now we've seen the Dane Leon Madsen disqualified from heat number 2. Josef Franc made a good start. Franc, who is missing out for Sheffield tonight in their Premier League clash. They are racing tonight at Ollerton, so no doubt the fans at the stadium there will be keeping tabs on this race off as well. Whilst watching the action at Sheffield, Josef Franc a big favourite there. But 3 riders only for the restart of heat number 2. Opportunity for Team Great Britain and Scott Nicholls.
Yeah, and it's a bonus time in another respect as well, Nigel. We've got the outside gates in these opening races, and if we pick up these extra points here now, that could very well serve us well later on in the meeting. Nicholls coming out of gate 3. I'm sure he's going to do something in the first corner.
Protasiewicz, Franc, Nicholls across the 3 gates that we have now. Race number 2, race off Speedway in the Monster Energy Speedway World Cup, live from Malilla in Sweden. And away from the start, Franc's done it again. Super ride from Josef Franc. Now Nicholls is going to come hard around the outside to try and get the better of Protasiewicz. Protasiewicz is going to take him to the fence here, is he? He's left a bit of room, and Nicholls will try the inside switch now. Nicholls up the inside. Oh, what a ride from Scott Nicholls. And now he's going to take up the challenge of chasing hard after Josef Franc. But here comes Protasiewicz again. Good race developing here.
Yeah, Protasiewicz gets himself back into second place after a terrific turn there in the opening lap in 3 and 4 from Nicholls to get into second place. Josef Franc, this is a surprise. He would not have been a favourite for this race, but an excellent start out of gate 2. But look out for Protasiewicz. Looks fast in second.
Yeah, Protasiewicz looks to have the speed, and he's going to really push Josef Franc hard going into the final lap of heat number 2. He's going high and wide into the dirt now. Nicholls is a little bit off the pace here. Oh, and Protasiewicz slowed up there. Franc holds the lead. It looks like it may be 3 points for the Czech Republic. Nicholls will try the inside, but it's not enough. And the Czech Republic pick up 3 points, and Scott will be disappointed that he couldn't capitalise there with more than just a point.
Yeah, absolutely. That was, for a moment, I thought that Protasiewicz was going to hit the front, but it was a clever last lap there from Franc to bolt the run of the pole in second. Disappointment for Nicholls there because he did such a classy move around the inside on turns 3 and 4 in the opening lap. But Protasiewicz just had more speed than him and charged back into second place.
Czech Republic lead the meeting.
Incredible.
They're going to be spoilers tonight. Josef Franc the winner with Pepe Protasiewicz second. Scott Nicholls was third. Leon Madsen disqualified. And what it means now after 2 heats here at the G&B Arena, it means that the Czech Republic lead on 4, Denmark 3, Great Britain 3, and Poland have 2 points so far. Josef Franc, we said what a great Grand Prix he had in Prague as the wild card back in May, and we've seen exactly what he's capable of there.
Super stuff there from Josef Franc out of gate 2. He fires himself to the front. He does great stuff there, and that's where he stays. Nicholls really charged hard here. Watch this cutback. This is a really smart move around the inside here to get himself up into second place initially. And you felt then that he was really going to charge on, but got to give Protasiewicz some credit here, because he battled back nicely. In actual fact, very nearly got himself to the front. But Josef Franc, that was a good ride from him.
Yeah, Franc, who's ridden for the Berwick Bandits and the Newcastle Diamonds in the British League as well. And good servant for all of his clubs. Here we have heat number 3, and welcome to the World Cup, Nicki Pedersen. Fun and games about to continue, we suspect. He is box office, not universally popular, well-liked. He's had a controversial opening first half of the Grand Prix series, but he's great to watch, Kelvin. He's
had a controversial career, Nigel. He's one of those riders that you love or hate him. But I tell you what, you can't take your eyes off him. He has been in pretty good form. He's just dipped a little bit in the last couple of Grand Prix, but I tell you what, you've got to have a 3-time world champion in your side.
Absolutely, and what a rider to bring in.
Yeah, exactly.
He's had a week's holiday in Gran Canaria to prepare for this. Nicholls Dryml off the inside, Nicki Pedersen off 2, Krzysztof Buczkowski, a change for Poland, of course. He replaces Gregor Walasek tonight, and Danny King goes off the outside. It's a tough opening run for Great Britain because of the outside gates here. Danny looking for a point here, any point he can get from the outside gate. Chris Holder of Australia watching on tonight.
He is, and he'll be learning, of course, keeping an eye on the proceedings for Saturday. They're through, but yeah, Danny King on the outside. It's a big ask for him. He got off to a slow start on Monday. I sense he may well have been a bit nervous. He'll be nervous tonight, but let's hope he can do something here. Get a point at the very least.
That's got to be the aim. There's a bit of movement from Danny King. He looked a little bit nervous there. Pedersen. What a start from Nicki Pedersen in the white helmet colour. Here comes Danny King around the outside, and Danny King has got second spot now. Good ride from Danny King for Great Britain. Third in blue is Krzysztof Buczkowski for Poland, and third in red is Nicholls Dryml, who's gone down now. Will he get up here? It looks like Dryml is going to get up, but the lead here is with the man they brought in, Nicki Pedersen, and what a trump card to bring in after missing the opening event.
Fabulous start from Pedersen out of gate 2. Gate 2 once again showing really good grip. He powers to the front, but I tell you what, Daniel King in second place. This will do very nicely, thank you very much. Krzysztof Buczkowski there back in third. Debuts in the World Cup tonight. That's a brave move from their management team, but what can you say about Nicki Pedersen? Looks awesome out in front.
Yeah, looking very, very quick, nicely bronzed after his week in Gran Canaria as well. And now Danny King has to hold on to second spot here. They're in the closing stages of heat number 2. Buczkowski is winding it on, getting plenty of drive. King looks over his shoulder, and King just holds out for second place. And those 2 points, Kelvin, may well prove absolutely decisive in the final reckoning tonight in the race for top spot and a place in the World Cup final.
Yeah, it will be. You know, coming out of the outside once again, we've got the bonus points there. Very easy to run zeros from there, but once again, he made a really good fist of it round the first corner. And to pick up another 2 points is a solid start for Team GB.
So it's a win for Nicki Pedersen for Denmark. Second place was Danny King for Team Great Britain. Third there went to Krzysztof Buczkowski for Poland. This is what it means now. Denmark take the lead on 6, Great Britain on 5, Czech Republic 4. Poland have 3 points now from 3 rides. Long way to go. 3 of 20 races have been completed. 17 races still to go here at Melilla, the G&B Arena.
Super stuff here. We see Nicki Pedersen coming out of gate 2. Absolutely jet propelled. Clean pair of heels. And he would have been feeling the pressure tonight to come in to replace a rider from last week that did a really good job, Nicholls Jensen. But the world champion comes up with the goods. Good ride there from Danny King. Of course, Dryml goes down there on the opening lap, but no red light this time. That's good news. The Pedersen out in front of good solid performance from Danny King.
Let's hear from Danny King now with Chris.
Thanks, Nigel. Danny, Kelvin's just had a good, solid performance. Kind of weathering the storm with the outside gates, so a little bit difficult early on in the meeting.
Yeah, but I think they might come good for us later on. Was a good start, really. I feel like I need a little bit more speed at the end of the straight, so we're just going to make some changes and try and get a bit more comfortable.
Track conditions look a little bit slicker than perhaps you may have expected, having walked the track earlier. It looked a little bit heavier than perhaps it is.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's a bit similar to practice now, I suppose. So, you know, we're just making a few changes, and I think it'll make the world of difference.
3 heats gone, second place, just 1 point behind, so still all to race for.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if we can have a solid first stint with these outside gates, as I say, I do think they'll come in our favour later on.
Great stuff, well done.
Danny King, who is a a keen golfer and a keen darts player as well, has hit a few 180s on the practice board, and he loves watching the PDC darts throughout the year. Danny King, huge fan of that. Heat number 4. Maciej Janowski off the inside for Poland. Lukas Dryml for the Czech Republic. Can Chris Harris give us a night like he did on Monday at Kings Lynn? And the hugely talented Michael Jensen for Denmark off the outside.
So impressed with this young Danish rider this season so far. Really has is beginning to make a big name for himself. Mark Courtney there, the team mechanic for Chris Harris. We need a performance like we saw on Monday from Harris without the engine failure. Please, no engine failures tonight. Harris was inspired on Monday. Need something like that once again.
Heat number 4. And away from the start, and it's a good start from the man in blue, Maciej Janowski for Poland. And now here comes Harris up the inside. Wonderful ride from Chris Harris in yellow. What a swoop up the inside that was. Watch out here though for Jensen for Denmark in the white helmet colour. The lead here is with Chris Harris, Jensen second, and third place is Lukas Dryml battling with the pole, Maciej Janowski. But Harris riding superbly, Kelvin.
Super first corner there from Harris. He charged up the inside and got himself to the front. Jensen followed him through, and Maciej Janowski, who made a good start initially, he's been relegated to third place. But Harris out in front, look at Jensen all over the back of him, up the inside. How fast is that? Jensen steams up the inside. Has Harris got anything in reply?
Yes!
Look at him, yes he has! Great Speedway now. Harris and Jensen locked together.
That was brave from Jensen. This young rider has got a massive future in World Speedway. And Jensen has got Chris Harris charging hard, but Jensen has held out against Chris Harris. Super race, best one of the 4 that we've had so far. And Harris was second with Janowski charging hard for third place there. But Michael Jensen, no surprise to fans of the Peterborough Panthers in the UK who see this guy week in and week out, and they know what a talent he is. Started the season at reserve for Peterborough in the Elite League, and it was no wonder he was taking 7 rides and getting 18s and 19s. It was wonderful. Yep, great ride. Let's just confirm the result for you now then. Michael Jensen the winner. Chris Harris was second for Team Great Britain. Maciej Janowski was third for the Poles with Lukas Dryml at the back. Let's take a look now. After the first round of races, every rider has completed a ride. Denmark 9, Great Britain 7, Czech Republic 4, and Poland have 4 as well.
Well, the meeting really livened up there. Race of the night so far. Jensen and Harris out in front, swapping places a couple of times, but got to say that this young man really has arrived on the world scene. Big style. Inexperienced rider, you know, hasn't been around that long, but we're away from the tapes. Janowski makes a good start initially, but doesn't stay there. He gets carved up, big style. Harris and Jensen steaming up the inside with Dryml around the outside. And then Jensen showed so much speed. He gets the better of Harris, who wasn't a sluggish out in front himself, but you've got to say that the young Dane really was spectacular here. Super Speedway.
While Denmark have won 3 races of the 4 so far, the other one they were disqualified, so the Danes on song. Britain need to start winning races, but Chris Harris was superb there in heat number 4. Fantastic Speedway. This Monster Energy Speedway World Cup race-off continues in a few moments.
Welcome back to the Speedway World Cup race-off. It's a lovely evening in Manila in Sweden. Denmark, well, they could have done just a little better if they hadn't had that exclusion. 9 points for them. Great Britain, though, have started with a solid score of 7. The Czech Republic on 4, as are Poland. And good crowd here for the race-off, Sam, and I think they've not been disappointed in these early few heats. But as far as we're concerned, Team Great Britain didn't drop a point.
Yeah, it started off a little bit slow with a couple of delays in the first 2 heats, and Great Britain's doing a good job taking advantage of some of those, what I'd say would be bad starting positions.
You said right at the beginning of this tournament, no zeros, and Britain haven't scored a 0 in their first 4 tentative heats.
Yeah, that's correct, and we've seen Leon go down from Denmark, and we've seen Tomasz Gollob get excluded, and he's right.
Talk to me about that Tomasz Gollob thing, because he didn't look all that well, I have to say, at the tapes, and then actually when he was sat on the shale in this corner down below us here, he just didn't look very happy.
Well, I mean, he's not really been riding his best, really, Keith. And you know, it's a World Championship, and he knows that you know, Poland really struggled a little bit at Bydgoszcz in their own back garden. And Tomasz now just stretches the bike out going into turn 3, but Iversen's on the inside of him and correctly in the right place. And I would say, you know, that was a fair call. I think Craig Ackroyd got this quite right. Tomasz could have easily probably dropped it on him a little bit more here. At the same time, he did. He touched him. He got him off balance. He went down, and it was a fair decision. Unlucky for Poland. They needed these points. I mean, Tomasz is a great rider, and he doesn't need to be on the ground. It's a little bit early, but the track conditions are a little bit difficult, and they desperately needed some work doing on it. They've been on and working on it now, just watched them. Hopefully the racers will come out now and start using what's out there.
Heat 5 coming up then. Nicki Pedersen and Chris Bomber Harris out there. I think this is going to be fireworks.
Well, Chris Harris felt the track out there. He wasn't moving around. Young Jepsen got him, Michael got him, and he knows he's got to work a little bit more. With the little bit of water that's gone on this racetrack, he can just see the shine in the track. It might take this race for that to settle down, but there'll be plenty more.
Tell you what, tough heat. Piotr Protasiewicz has looked pretty quick, and Josef Franc has been the winner for the Czech Republic earlier on as well, so this is a tough heat.
Absolutely.
Let's get back up to our commentators then, Kelvin Tatum and Nigel Pearson.
Neil Middleditch, the Great Britain manager, watching on. What can Harris do here? He's up against Nicki Pedersen, who I have to say in his opening ride looked absolutely awesome. Quickest rider of the night so far. Protasiewicz for the Poles and Matej Kus for the Czech Republic, who's a fine young rider, rides for the Red Car Bears in the UK and doubles up with Wolverhampton now in the Elite League. This is heat number 5. Take a look across the gate positions for you, and it's Nicki Pedersen who's fast starting and very, very quick in his opening ride off the inside. Chris Harris, gate 2 in yellow for Team Great Britain. Pepe Protasiewicz goes off gate 3 in blue for Poland. Matej Kus off the outside for the Czech Republic.
Yeah, competitive race. Nicki Pedersen so spectacular out of gate 2 in his first ride. And he's going to be a tough customer here without question. Chris Harris had a hard-fought battle there with Jepsen Jensen, and the Dane did prevail there, you have to say. He rode a stormer. Protasiewicz ran second behind Franc, but had good speed. So this is a tough race in without question. What we need now is we need Harris to get to the front. We need a race winner. That would be great.
Heat number 5 it is then, here at the G&B Arena, home of Dakarna in the Swedish League. And Nicki Pedersen has made a beautiful getaway off the inside gate. Chris Harris is the man in yellow, and he's going to go to the back. Oh, right, that is from Matej Kus. And now Harris comes back for more. Super right from Chris Harris. The lead is with Nicki Pedersen. Harris second, but now coming hard around the outside as well. For the Poles is Piotr Protasiewicz, but Nicki Pedersen looks at his brilliant best tonight.
Well, clearly that's holiday by the pool is done the power of good. He's absolutely flying out in front. Great start from him. Messy first corner with Kush there, really stirring things up, but Harris now settles nicely in second place. Protasiewicz cannot make any inroads whatsoever with the Czech Republic rider out the back, but Pedersen looking good. Harris is beginning to close though. Here we go, 1 lap to go. Can Harris get there?
He goes high and wide into the dirt, but Nicki's read the line. Here comes Harris from the inside now. Chris has got some pace here. He's going to have one big swoop around the outside. Nicki Pedersen holds the inside line, and Pedersen has done enough. That was a smart ride from Nicki Pedersen because he knew that Harris was coming. A brave, brave effort by Chris Harris, but Denmark are looking threatening tonight. They are in tip-top form, and to have a 3-times world champion coming back into a side tonight is a major boost for them.
Indeed it is. Got to say that he's fired up tonight. He's got a point to prove. He replaced a useful 17-year-old rider, Jensen, who did well on Saturday, but he came 2 rides, 2 wins.
Nicki Pedersen the winner with Harris second, and Pepe Protasiewicz was third for Poland there. Trailing at the back for the Czech Republic was Matej Kus, and now look at this. Denmark 12, Great Britain 9, Poland 5, Czech Republic 4, so it means that both Poland and the Czech Republic now can make a tactical substitute and nominate a rider for double points under the Joker rule, because once you're 6 points behind the leaders, you can nominate a rider for double points and bring in a tactical sub.
Great start from Nicki Pedersen on the inside. It's a messy first corner there. Kus comes charging up the inside, gets all out of shape and really is a spoiler there just for a momentarily. But Harris then charges back into second place. Protasiewicz is charging hard in third but cannot make any real inroads. Harris is a touch fortunate there because the Czech Republic rider gets himself in all sorts of trouble. Very nearly has two wheels over the white line there, and he's all over the place, but that man isn't. He did come under pressure from Chris Harris late on in the race, which is good news. Harris showing plenty of speed, but the Danes have really started this meeting, even with the exclusion of Leon Madsen, in fine style.
4 races they've completed, they've won them all.
Exactly, and you've got to say that they are ominous. Fancy them that they will be a strong team here this evening, but I've got to say the Poles, are they going to play a joker here with Gollob? I think they're resisting at this stage, but the world champions, I reiterate, are under huge pressure.
To be fair, Poland, we know, are without Jarek Hampel.
Yeah.
They're without Janusz Kolodze. Little bit surprised that Krzysztof Kasperzak hasn't had a sniff in this World Cup.
Absolutely, I can't understand that one. Buczkowski's never ridden in the World Cup before, inexperienced at this level. Strange decision.
Josef Franc for the Czech Republic off the inside. Michael Jensen, a brilliant youngster for Denmark, off gate 2. Danny King goes off gate 3, yellow for Great Britain. And Tomasz Gollob off the outside in blue. We've seen Tomasz Gollob race for less than a lap tonight so far. He'll be determined to bounce back.
Don't rule him out. He knows how to bounce back, doesn't he? We've seen some incredible performances from him, particularly last year's final when Poland got off to a poor start that night and he turned things around single-handedly almost. So I'm sure he'll be amongst it here. But Jensen, I tell you what, he's the man for me here. Been so impressive so far in this World Cup, and his first ride against Harris was very impressive indeed.
Heat number 6, Tomasz Gollob is the man in blue. Desperate to make the start here. Jensen again, superb ride for Michael Jensen. Danny King is taking Gollob out wide, and up the inside here is the Czech Republic rider in red, Josef Franc. But Michael Jensen holds the line. Josef Franc is second, third is Danny King, and Tomasz Gollob has been taken to the fence and is filled in as well. So Jensen again, looking brilliant, and Denmark are kicking on here.
Jensen has a style on the motorbike slightly unusual, so hangs off it and then sits right back on the seat, gets loads of speed. Look how fast he is. He's absolutely firing away out in front. Danny King was ruthless on Gollob in the first corner, gave him no option, and King settles in third place. Frank's in second, but Jensen, different class.
The Danes are looking threatening here tonight. They are dominating this meeting now. Michael Jensen, who scored 7 points in Copenhagen in the Parken in the Danish Grand Prix back in June. He is a world champion in the making.
Wow.
Will he be a world team champion on Saturday night here in Manila? Great Britain hanging on in there. Gollob not a happy man at the back. He takes his goggles off, but Jensen celebrates on one wheel.
Yeah.
And tonight, the Great Danes are coming good again.
Well, we're seeing a new breed of young Danes coming through now in this World Cup, and I've got to say it's ominous for the future for everybody else. Not for them, of course. They're going to be loving it, but Jensen, that was so impressive out in front.
Michael Jensen, the winner. Josef Franc second. Danny King was third. Tomasz Gollob trailed in at the back, and this is what it means overall now. Denmark have 15 points. Great Britain hanging on in there on 10, but not far off joker territory. Czech Republic 6 and Poland have 5. Out of the 6 heats completed now, Denmark have won 5 of them, and their other race, they saw their rider disqualified.
Yeah, super stuff from Jensen. Gate 2 working well. He's clear into the first corner, and he just fires his way in front. Danny King was ruthless in the first corner, and he hangs on for third place, but Jensen was terrific.
Let's get some reaction in the pits with Chris.
Thanks, Nigel. Nicki, fantastic start to the meeting. The 5 races that you've finished, you've won them all.
Yeah, I mean, everybody needs to score the point. It was a bit unlucky with laying off gate 4. Gate 4 doesn't seem to suit anybody tonight, but now we seem to get okay off this other starts, and so far we're leading, so we're happy with that.
You missed the first round, event 1, but the holiday seems to have done you the world of good.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you know, still when you're that experienced, you know, when you've been away for a week, you know, you're a little bit tense in the start, but it seems like I haven't forgot it.
It's all smiles in the Danish camp. You've made a great start to the meeting. You guys look very confident.
Well, we are at the minute, but we also know, you know, we cannot relax at all. This is a long meeting. They can play the joker, they can play everything. Every single race today is so important.
Great stuff. Thanks, Nicky.
Well, Nicki quite clearly thriving on the action tonight, enjoying himself. He's got a smile on his face. And he did say that during his week's holiday with his family, he was in the gym every day at the hotel, not just in the swimming pool, but in the gymnasium as well. Nicki Pedersen every day, the spa probably as well.
Or the bar.
Oh, well, fair enough, yeah. Heat number 7. And only Team Great Britain are the team that cannot play the Joker at the moment because they're 5 behind the leaders. It's a 6-point margin before you can play the Joker. Scott Nicholls off gate 1, Niels-Kristian Iversen, gate 2 for Denmark, Maciej Janowski off 3 for Poland, Tomasz Dryml off the outside in blue, in red for the Czech Republic. Tomasz Gollob, 2 rides, no points for Poland so far. Scott Nicholls looking for a big ride here in heat number 7 to get Britain's first win on the board.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's been working with his equipment. He didn't look quite quick enough in his opening ride. I just sense that they'll make one or two, they would have made 1 or 2 tweaks to it. It's on the inside, needs to make a sharp getaway. Iversen, he's the danger man for me. He was very impressive in his opening ride, had plenty of speed. And Janowski, the Danes, under huge pressure, but Nicholls on the inside needs to get away to a good start now.
Heat number 7. And away from the start, and Scott Nicholls has made a real hash of that one. The lead is with Niels-Kristian Iversen for Denmark here. Charging hard up the inside in red for the Czechs is Tomasz Dryml. Scott Nicholls is at the back. Second place now, Maciej Janowski in blue for Poland. But what about the lead here? Niels-Kristian Iversen looking superb. And Nicholls is going high and wide now to try and make an impact on this race.
Yeah, and he's still at the back, unfortunately. Didn't quite make it work. He dives to the inside. Can he get up the inside of Dryml? He's struggling there, not really quite quick enough. Iversen is. He's absolutely powering away out in front. The Danes are really stamping their authority on this meeting. They're winning every race they complete here this evening.
Nicholls has packed up.
Oh, that's a disappointment.
So, going into the last lap here, Denmark dominating here in Malilla, Sweden. Niels-Kristian Iversen, magnificent form so far this season for the Kings Lynn Stars in the Elite League. And what it means here now for Team Great Britain is that they are in Joker territory. They can play the Joker now, Team Great Britain. It's all about the team manager deciding when they're going to get the best impact. Disappointment for Scott Nicholls. He goes back to the pits, lacking power, and quite clearly problems with the setup there. But for Niels-Kristian Iversen for Denmark, absolutely magnificent. And for Great Britain, their first 0 score of the night. A blow, but they're in tactical Joker territory right now after 7 heats of this race-off. Crowd enjoying it. Lovely, warm, sunny evening here in deepest Sweden. And here's the result of heat number 7. Niels-Kristian Iversen the winner. Maciej Janowski was second, Tomasz Dryml third. Scott Nicholls trailing at the back. And after 7 heats now, this is what it means. Denmark 18, Great Britain 10, Czech Republic and Poland level on 7 apiece. Who will be first to play their Joker? It's all important, yeah. But Denmark are winning every race, Kelvin.
Yeah, they are. They complete races, they win races. He was superb out in front. Just looking at the next race night, Tai Woffinden out of gate 2. I suspect Midlow might be tempted to play the Joker there, and then Woffinden had some reasonable speed, and gate 2's working well. Out in front though, Iversen was really impressive. Got to say, Scott Nicholls has had a bit of a nightmare there. He knows there's a problem and the bike just runs out of steam. But Iversen, chased hard by Janowski in second place, were really in a different class, and Nicholls, that's a big blow for the Great Britain team. But we can bounce back now. We need to play the Joker. Well, maybe now, heat 8, well, could be an opportunity.
Yeah, Tai Woffinden is in the next race, or they can bring in a tactical sub if they want to. Team Great Britain are up against Lukas Dryml, Krzysztof Buczkowski and Leon Madsen. The Joker is out, and we're just about for Team Great Britain. So the Joker board is out for Team Great Britain in heat number 8. And for Team Great Britain here, Tai Woffinden is the man who is going to keep his place and go for double points.
No surprise, I think it's the right move. Play it when it's early. And Woffinden had good speed in his opening ride, seemed pretty confident. He's coming out of a good start position this time. Gate 2 has worked well. He's up against riders. Madsen's failed to score, didn't get around the first corner. Buczkowski wasn't impressive. Got to say that Lukas Dryml, he can get the better of him, so there's definitely an opportunity for 6 points right now.
Well, it's early in the meeting. It's only heat number 8. We're not even halfway through, but the whole meeting, Great Britain's hopes could hang on this very race.
Yeah, but the Aussies had to play the Joker in heat 7 on Monday night, and you've got to say that got them back in it, and they went on to win. So there's no reason why we can't turn things around here at heat 8.
Neil Middleditch, his second year back in the role of Great Britain boss. Of course, Jim Lynch and Rob Lyon have done the job as well.
Does a good job, Midlow. You know, riders really want to please him. They want to ride for him.
Here's heat number 8, Leon Madsen off the inside for Denmark. Tai Woffinden for Great Britain going for double points in the yellow helmet off 2. Lukas Dryml, gate 3 in red, and Krzysztof Buczkowski off the outside in blue. Ahead of the race, right decision?
Yeah, I think so. I would have done that if I was the manager. I just sense that he's the right rider to do it. He made a good fist of things from gate 4. He very nearly got there with Iversen in the opening race. Gate 2's been working well. We've seen riders firing out of there. If Woffenden's made the right setup changes, he can easily win this race.
Heat number 8, a massive race in the context of Great Britain's World Cup campaign. They were magnificent at Kings Lynn on that memorable night at the Norfolk Arena on Monday. Here tonight in Melilla, their hopes rest with Tai Woffinden, who's made a good start off 2. Superstar from Tai Woffinden. Now, can he block out the challenge that's coming from Buczkowski in blue here? Woffinden kicks on down the back straight. Krzysztof Buczkowski is second. Third in white is Leon Madsen. Remember, he's going for 6 points, Tai Woffinden, and he goes into lap 2 with the lead. It's looking good so far, and the extra bonus here is that the Dane Leon Madsen is at the back now.
Dryml coming up the inside, Madsen's at the back, he's having a nightmare, and this is a perfect scenario right now. Tai Woffinden out of gate 2. You've got to say Buczkowski's shown pretty good speed in second place. Woffenden's got to keep him guessing. Try to the inside, boy, then move to the outside. Do not be too predictable. He bounces off the safety fence at the end of the straight. Woffinden riding a stormer again.
He's got 1 lap to go, and if it stays like this, Team Great Britain will go within 2 points of Denmark. They'll wipe out virtually the entire lead, short of 2 points. It was an 8-point gap before this.
Yeah.
But Tai Woffinden is going to take the checkered flag. It's Woffy, Woffy, Woffy at the double. We love the Joker when it works.
Fabulous ride from Tai Woffinden under immense pressure. Really comes good when it really mattered. Gate 2 works a treat. The right time to pull the move. Moley's here. He's loving that 6 points. And so is Tai Woffinden, rightly celebrating that win. We're right back in this, Nige. There's nothing between it. If we can just keep making starts, who knows?
Right place, right time for the Joker for Team Great Britain. Tai Woffinden 6 points, Krzysztof Buczkowski 2 for Poland, and third was Lukas Dryml. Significantly, Denmark trailing last there. And look how close it is now. Denmark 18, Great Britain 16, Poland 9, and the Czech Republic have 8 points. Remember, Poland and the Czechs can still use the Joker, but Neil Middleditch has nominated their Tai Woffinden, and he's delivered the good super.
Yeah, a rider coming of age. He's been out for some time with a broken skateboard, but here out of gate 2 with the Joker played, he comes roaring into that first corner. He remains controlled and composed out in front, and you could see him growing in confidence lap after lap. 6 points in the bag, 2 points behind the Danes. We're right back in it.
Reaction comes from Chris Louis in the pits.
Thanks, Nigel. Jubilant scenes already down here in the pits. Tai, fantastic race. Neil Middleditch put his faith in you, and you responded.
Yeah, gate 2 is golden, and I was focused. I was like, come on, I want this so much, and I did it, and I'm pumped, and we're just going to keep fighting. There's not much in it now, and we'll keep going to the end.
Leon Madsen at the back as well, so the Czechs and the Poles doing you a favour there, so it's just 2 points in it.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, it's close, and the boys, we're just going to work together, and we're doing good, and just going to keep plugging away. Every point counts.
Could you feel the pressure coming from Buczkowski there? He made a little bit of ground up on a couple of laps.
First 2 laps, I was kind of riding in no man's land, and I kind of was bouncing off the fence and pulling the bike to the inside and getting over the curb, and it was working. I pulled on the last 2 laps, so pumped.
Cracking stuff. Well done, Tai.
Cheers.
Tai Woffinden done it for Great Britain. Great Britain are back in it here at Melilla, Sweden. Can they pull off a real shock tonight after Denmark have started dominating proceedings? Only 2 points in it now then. Stay with us. We'll be back for more drama in Sweden.